Here's one that comes in. It says, "Hey team, I live in the suburbs of Atlanta and drive a 2016 Toyota Corolla, and I have 2 cats. I drink Bud Light, Fireballs, and Tennessee whiskey." All right.
Somebody almost after your own heart.
Perfect.
Your kind of guy or gal.
Yeah. I recently opened a Roth IRA with Fidelity, where I also have multiple brokerage accounts. I'll be leaving my job 25 years at some point in 2022. After 25 years, I will be leaving my job of 25 years some point next year. My question is, can I start contributing to the rollover IRA before doing the transfer of my 401k once my exit is official, or do I need to wait until after that transfer occurs? Okay.
Got it.
Also, I was planning on moving $7,000 into my wife's IRA in January to max it out for the next calendar year. However, I was wondering if that violates any rules, being that she won't actually earn that much income until March or so, and also contributes to a 403b, meaning her retirement accounts will reflect more in contributions than her income for at least several months. Thank you. Love the show. Didn't want to give a name.
Anonymous fan.
Anonymous fan.
But at least I mentioned that they're a fan, so that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Love it.
Okay. Well, these are good questions.
Yeah, very good questions. So let's kind of break it down. You can, so he's going to roll his 401k into a new established IRA.
Right.
And he's wondering, all right, well, I'm going to establish this new IRA. It's a rollover IRA that I'm going to put my 401k in once I retire in some point in 2022. He's like, well, can I put my $7,000 as an IRA contribution into that new established rollover IRA, or do I have to wait until the funds get into the account?
Right.
Is that what you understood?
That's what I understood.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, no problem. You can set up the account and fund it.
Yeah, it's funny that we hear these terms, rollover IRA and they're the same thing. It's just an IRA. So you can set up what's called a rollover IRA, but it's still just a regular IRA. You can put your 7,000 in first, after, whatever you want.
So the rollover IRA is really established because you can set up a rollover IRA or an IRA. The rollover IRA is established that you can move a 401k into a rollover IRA, and then that would allow you to roll the IRA into another qualified plan.
Sure.
If you establish just a standard IRA, then you might have problems moving that IRA into another qualified plan. That's why there's, as he's looking at, the accounts, you could set up an IRA and still roll your 401k into the IRA. It doesn't necessarily have to be a rollover IRA.
Correct.
So,
yep.
Okay. Yeah, because in all sense of purposes, they are basically the same. So yeah, put the $7,000 in and then wait, and then put your 401k dollars in there as well. As long as your wife or you have income, anonymous.
Close enough.
It doesn't matter. You can do a spousal contribution. So as long as one spouse. So since you're making a $7,000 contribution for yourself, you can also your wife can also make a $7,000 contribution for herself, as long as you have $14,000 of income.
Yeah. And I will add, as long as you have $14,000 of income by year end, I don't care when the income is earned or when you do the IRA contribution, as long as by year end, you have enough earned income to cover your contributions, we're good with that.
Yeah, that's another good point, because he's like, all right, well, if I make the contribution now, man, my wife's not going to make any money until March.
I don't qualify yet.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't matter. Let's say if something happened and you didn't make the 14,000, you could recharacterize the money out of the IRA.
Right.
So make the contributions in January always, and then you can kind of figure it out later.
And that's why they allow recharacterization of contributions, because you may or may not qualify. You don't even know that until year end.
Yes. And so make the contributions, and then, just wait. Always, for all of you backdoor Roth, worshipers, do this in January.
Agreed.
You always want to make sure that you get the money into your accounts as soon as you possibly can. And here's the reason why, is that let's say if we have another really good year of 10, 20, 30%, 5%, right? Any growth that happens, right? You want to make sure that growth is done in the Roth. So some people wait And they're like, well, I'm going to do my backdoor Roth contribution in December. Well, it doesn't matter. It's a backdoor, it's a contribution. Get it done in January. So conversions, on the other hand, you probably want to wait until you have a better idea of what your income is, because there is no recharacterizations on conversions.
Are you prepared for retirement? Schedule a free financial assessment with an experienced financial professional right online at purefinancial.com.